Right. Well, it's a little while since I just had a chat to you all, you know. Talking about vandalism. And I've got about 60,000 views in no time, really. Only a couple of months, it seems like. And right now, what I've done today is I put a different pullover on. It's a hoodie top. Put a different one on because it's green to kind of look different from the other videos. But this is a box of plectrums. I put my plectrums in there. Look. This is a plectrum. Play guitar. I should really turn that big light on. It sort of shows how dirty the room is. You know, I don't like it. I might turn it on. Go on, I will. You have to stay there. Don't run away. Alright, so I've turned that light on now up there. And I can see this, it's green. Thing is, I was going to take it upstairs and iron it, you know. Make it look really nice. But because I'm a man, I can't be bothered, you know. And then I could have had it all nice and clean, but I must get round to doing that. Anyway, what we're here for? Is it music? Oh yeah, I forgot. Is it music we're here for, or is it comedy? I think comedy is much better. And I can send it round to my friends on Facebook and what have you, and they can all laugh, can't they? They can all have a good laugh. A good laugh at me struggling with this fucking chair. There's a nice bit of French for you all. Right, let's see. I'm trying to get a bit more central. Thing is, with all this, it's got to be in tune, you know, perfectly in tune. Or we're just wasting. Right, I'm going to give you a bit of advice about guitar playing as well. Right. Oh, fucking shit. This is what's supposed to happen. First, you know, you're supposed to tune up first. Right, what I was going to say was, I haven't been playing for a while, so you kind of get out of practice. So a number of things have to be told to you. First of all, I've got to change my strings because of smell. You can smell your guitar strings and think, oh, it smells like shit, you know. And it is, it's like, I have to clean the strings. So I could do that another time, you know, like in 5 minutes. So this video is really kind of like a tutorial, you know, talking about things, not just playing. Another reason I haven't been putting songs up is because I kind of run out of songs, you know, I've run out of my material, so you can't put up what you ain't got, you know. So another couple of things what I've got to do, I've got to clip my fingernails, so I'll do that. So I've got to clip my fingernails, got to get some new strings which I'm going to buy on Amazon. I've got to I've got to buy some more strings in Amazon. Might get two, no, I was going to say I might get 2 sets of strings, but I might just get one. And put some clean strings on and clean the fretboard, clean the old guitar down, spray it with some interesting sprays that I've got. I'll show you one, I've got one over there called Shine. Sounds good, doesn't it? Shine, you know, shine on you crazy diamond. Go on, I'll tell you a bit more about my life and things, right? I'm at home because my mother's in hospital. She's broke a hip, so I look after her, and I'm looking after the house while she's away. So I normally just do cooking and washing up and all that kind of thing, and washing clothes and looking after my mother. But because she's in hospital, I haven't had as much to do, so it's been a bit of a rest for me because I can just be busy all the time. And then I do this as a kind of hobby. Right? Fuck this chair and everything, you know. It's all really crampy, you know. When you set up a system, nobody expects you to have a perfect recording studio. This is called Shine. It don't matter who it's by, but it's Shine, innit? And the thing is, I wasn't planning to do this video like this. I never really did. Well, I sometimes plan them because I know what song I'm going to do. That's when I'm doing my songs. This isn't a song video, this is kind of how am I going to make this guitar sound okay. But I'll put a bit of that. I mean, I've been playing guitar since I was 12, you know. And I'm 56 now. So I don't mind telling you, you know, it's not like a big deal to me. Some people don't like talking about their age, you know, I don't know why. You can't get girlfriends or something. So I'm just putting a bit of that on. And then sometimes you feel like taking all these stickers off, you know, like these star. That star is not really about me, it's about her, who's the lead singer in a band called Vive la Fête, which is long live the feast, long live, like the holiday, you know, when they have a holiday, and you get these bands and they sing on holidays, you know, perform. See, it sounds better already, but it's choked me, you know. This is like a song, a Greenpeace song coming on, isn't it? Because these poor Greenpeace people have been put in jail in Russia. But the true story, it's not just about the oil rig, but the oil rig is faulty. It's an old oil rig. And I was reading up and researching it, and it's an old oil rig, and it's kind of been sold from one big company to another. And it probably goes through government, you know, through government agencies and people who know the government. So like the British government's stumped up about £5 billion, a hell of a lot of money, out of the taxpayers' money. It functions as investment capital, meaning they're going to sell all this petroleum, diesel and gas back to us and across the world if they can, and make money on it. But we don't get any of it, you see. Taxpayer doesn't get a return on the investment capital, whereas the people who run the company do. So what they're doing is fucking screwing us even more, you know. Like, people pay tax. For the taxes, they just want hospitals and schools and all that. But instead, all crafty boys there in government, they decide they're going to start putting a hell of a lot of money into gas and oil research. Not research, into fucking selling off cheap oil rigs that are faulty. It means when people go on there to work, they'll end up getting killed, you know, like all these Russian workers who, when it gets going, that oil rig, the Russian workers will all be getting killed on there. And then they'll be getting that gas and they're going to be trying to sell it to Germany, Holland, everywhere, you know, wherever. So it's like a big political thing. And Greenpeace are concerned about the area, about the ice cap, the flow of water, the cleanliness of the water. That's why people oppose fracking, because the problem with fracking, what I read in the newspaper, rather on the internet, our Prime Minister, David Cameron, is kind of all for it. Anything business wants, he's always for it, because he's into bright, you know, like an idiot who they can manipulate him. But the truth of it is, the fracking can be really dangerous for your water supply, because the shit that they dig up gets into the water table, which is like 20 metres below your feet. So water runs down, it collects in a table, and it goes down to lakes and into streams and into rivers, and basically back down into your sewage system. And that's where scientists kind of collect it and then clean it and sell it back to us as water. So, you know, it's like private companies, and I don't complain about them too much. They do a good job. But that's what they're worried about. They're worried about that fracking is going to put all kinds of crap, I forget what it is, into the water. So these are real dangers. So I kind of like Greenpeace, and I've got my green top on, and I'm a bit of a Robin Hood character myself, you know. I don't have any shares in any companies, and I wouldn't have any, because they've got this habit of losing your money, you know. So no, 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 no. If you break my heart, go on, but I'll be good. Yeah, I haven't practiced this one. Anyway, so that's the story. But so Greenpeace are up there now. Some of them have been put in jail in Russia. Now they're waiting for what the charges are. You see, what's the charge going to be? What have they done? All they've done is climbed on board an oil platform, which you could say it's trespass or something. But they're saying they're not doing it because of criminals who are trying to steal equipment or something. They're doing it to get all the Russian people and everybody concerned about what's going to happen to these poor bastards who are going to go work on that oil rig. Because the owners of the oil rig are saying, it's okay, it's completely safe. And it ain't, it's an old piece of junk. And they bought it off some British company. And that's what they do, right? So, sell each other junk, you know, for like a massive amount of money. Try and make a load of money on it. And get the government to stump up, you know, pay up via the taxpayer. Church where the wedding has been. Lives in a dream. Sits by the window, the socks in the night when there's nobody there. Anyway, so you get the idea. I'm coming up to, I might do a cover version. I might do Eleanor Rigby. I don't know. I have to kind of practice it first and work it out. Learn the words and then do a version. But so, what I'm talking, so I've cleaned that. Cleaned the guitar. It's about ready. Next video, or one after, might be some nice songs, you know. But what concerns me today is kind of stuff that you read on the internet. What concerns me today is that area in Russia where Greenpeace are was where they dropped the biggest nuclear bomb of all time. So that the area is contaminated with plutonium. So that's the fucking problem, you know. Maybe people don't realise what's going on up there in the Arctic, up, you know, in that place. I don't even know what you call it. Somewhere off Archangel or Zemlya, Novaya, you know, like New Zemlya or something like that. Bering Straits up there. So that's another problem nobody's been speaking about, because that plutonium, it doesn't disappear, you know, it's in the water. It'll fucking move around, doesn't it? It moves around and it gets to your coastline and then you've got plutonium. So you're there swimming away, fucking south of France, or wherever you might be, and there's no guarantee that you ain't got a certain amount of plutonium fucking moving around you. So, and plutonium, it's going to kill you, you know, it's going to rot your bones and do terrible things to you. And apparently, the figures are the interesting, the scientific figures are the interesting thing. It says so many parts per million, or wherever it might be, so many grams of it. Fucking hell. This stuff, the size of the bomb, it was so many megatons in 1963. The shit is still down there. And it's not that it's just still down there, it's moving around with the currents of the seas. And don't think that it dissipates, that it just dilutes like orange juice, you know, if you put lots of water with orange juice. It doesn't, that's the whole point about it. It always remains toxic, it's always highly carcinogenic. And that's what's floating around in the seas. So that's really what Greenpeace have brought out in me. You know, thanks to Greenpeace, I wouldn't have been interested in what goes on up there. But I'll tell you something else why it's interested me. It's because my friend Tony lives up in Denmark. And it's only because he lives in Denmark that I take any interest in Denmark. You wouldn't, would you? Why would you take an interest? I think it's Denmark. It looks like it's not so far away from Russia. Well, sort of. You know, you go around Norway and Sweden. I was looking on the map, and then you arrive at this place in Russia where all this fucking plutonium is. So I think Greenpeace are very right to do what they've done. And the judge will fine for them. There's no way he can imprison them or fine them or keep them in jail for a couple of weeks and send them back to Britain with a criminal offence against the names, because there was no criminal intention, you see. That's the whole point about Greenpeace. They're not going there to steal like equipment off the oil rig. They're going there to get world leaders to start thinking carefully about what the hell's going on in that area and what they're going to do about cleaning up that plutonium. And the bottom line is that you can't clean it up. So Russians have been very, very, very bad, very, very nasty doing that in the 1960s. Then it's just scientists getting the evidence of how much in a water sample. Because who wants to do that job? Who's going to go in a boat and like put a plastic thing in and take a water sample when what's in the water is going to fucking kill you? So I just thought I'd put the F word in there, you know, because it's that dangerous a situation to even measure how much of that shit is in that water. So what I put on the internet was Greenpeace and the Russian special services, they're all fucking jumping around in water, you know, they're all on boats and there's water splashing all over them. But what they don't realise is that it's probably an area that the Russians should have sort of sectioned off and never used again because of the levels of plutonium. So from it being an issue about whether people should drill for gas, drill for oil, the problem is now it's got a fucking drill going round, and if that plutonium was all kind of just lying at the bottom of the ocean bed, if it's like it's metal and heavier than air and heavier than water, just imagine that it sinks and it goes to the bottom and it's on the crust, like on the Earth's crust. But you've got to remember, it's kind of burning its way in through the Earth's crust, and it's just there. And the thing is, now they're going to start drilling. It's going to start moving that fucking plutonium around. That plutonium's going to go like further down and start moving around in all the sea down there. And it's not just the thing about killing the polar bears. It's, you know, because they do, you see, in a sense, they take over land and they move equipment there, start drilling and frightening polar bears. Polar bears have got nowhere to stay then. They start being pushed out of their natural habitat and they just die. So, you know, we feel sorry for polar bears. Polar bears are protecting us because they're keeping that area up north kind of icy, which is the normal way it should be. You don't want all that to start getting warm because that's going to raise the sea levels, and countries like Holland and other countries that are down there kind of quite low down, that water can come over the top. So it means everybody has to then spend loads more money on these barriers. But that's not what worries me. It's none of that. I mean, that is like those are the main issues that will be presented to people. It's that fucking plutonium that worries me. Oh, I had a song. I had this song years ago, I forgot. I don't know why I wrote it. Honestly, one Sunday or something. It was a weird song. It's called In the Nuclear Tomb, like this. I remember, I don't know why I wrote that. What it means is if you're not careful, you won't be in a coffin when you die. You'll be fucking dead due to plutonium in out swimming or something. So, you know, burning all your body and fucking making you fucking scream. So that's why I thought I'd tell you that. I thought that'd cheer you up today. That's it.